The training deck of Naval Station Coronado buzzed with the usual chaos, boots stomping on concrete, barked commands, and the raw adrenaline of fresh recruits trying to prove something. But everything shifted the moment the small, quiet woman stepped onto the deck. She wore standard fatigues, no rank showing, no insignia, nothing to hint at who she was. The recruits barely glanced at her, assuming she was another logistics clerk or medical staffer passing through. But the senior officers noticed the way she walked, too balanced, too calm, too precise. One man in particular watched her closely, Admiral Jonathan Riker, a decorated SEAL commander known for his sharp tongue and sharper instincts. He smirked as she approached the group of instructors. "Lost, are we?" he asked casually, loud enough for everyone to hear. The instructors stiffened, unsure how to respond. The woman didn't break stride. She simply answered, "No, sir. I'm right where I need to be." Her voice was steady, controlled. A few recruits snickered, thinking she was trying to sound tough. Riker decided to escalate the joke. "Well then," he said, circling her like a shark, "since you're so sure of yourself, why don't you tell us your call sign? I'm curious what they give the smaller ones." The recruits laughed harder. She finally stopped walking and lifted her gaze. Her eyes were unsettling, calm to the point of being unreadable. "You want my call sign, Admiral? Unless it's classified," he teased. "Oh," she replied, "it very much is." That wiped the grins right off the recruits' faces. Classified call signs were rare, reserved for Black Ops units, deep cover assets, and operatives whose missions were buried under multiple layers of clearance. Riker raised a brow, amused but now slightly intrigued. "Humor me," he said. "I'll pretend I have the clearance." She didn't blink, didn't hesitate. "Iron Widow." The words fell like a grenade in the silence. Riker froze. The instructors paled. A couple of recruits looked confused, but the veterans on the deck instantly understood. There were rumors, myths, really, about a female special operations operative whose missions always ended the same way, with hostile commanders neutralized, warlords disappearing, and high-value targets wiped off the map with surgical precision. She operated alone. She never left evidence. Every mission briefing that referenced her contained the same advisory. Engage with utmost caution. Operative is lethal. Riker's face drained of color. He had seen that name in classified SOCOM files, the ones stamped with red warnings, the ones only the highest-ranking staff could view. And those files carried one terrifying line: "Do not attempt to test or challenge Operative Iron Widow." He swallowed hard. You're her." She simply nodded. The Admiral actually stepped back. The recruits who had laughed now stared at her in fear, realizing they had just mocked someone whose reputation outmatched entire SEAL teams. "I wasn't supposed to arrive with identification," she added calmly. "But since you asked," she let the sentence fade. Riker cleared his throat, trying to recover some dignity. "Ma'am, welcome to Coronado." But everyone saw it. The SEAL Admiral had nearly collapsed from shock. For several seconds, no one on the training deck dared to speak. The recruits stood rooted where they were, eyes darting between Admiral Riker and the woman whose presence now felt like a loaded weapon. Wordless tension spread outward like shockwaves. Iron Widow broke the silence first. "I was told Coronado needed an external evaluator," she said, her tone level and unburdened by ego. "I'm here to observe, nothing more." "Observe," one recruit whispered. "She could probably run this whole base." Another elbowed him. "Shut up before she hears you." She did hear, but she didn't react. Her focus remained on Riker, who was visibly attempting to regain composure after realizing he'd tried to joke with a classified operative whose entire career was buried in shadows. "Right," Riker finally said, straightening his shoulders. "You're here for the Joint Combat Readiness Assessment." She nodded once. Riker exhaled slowly. The JCRA was no ordinary evaluation. It determined which teams were fit for high-danger missions. Usually, retired SEALs or veteran instructors handled these assessments. Never someone with a call sign whispered like a ghost story. "Well," Riker continued, voice still unsteady, "we're honored to have you. The teams have been prepping for days." She scanned the deck. "From what I've seen so far, they're not ready." A few instructors stiffened as though she'd slapped them. The recruits tried not to look offended. Riker's jaw tightened, but there was no arrogance in her assessment. "Only fact." "How do you figure that?" he asked, though a part of him already knew he'd regret the question. She walked toward a group of recruits doing close quarters drills. She didn't interrupt, she simply observed. Within seconds, she pointed at one. "Your stance collapses under forward pressure." The recruit blinked. "Ma'am," without warning, she stepped forward, applying the smallest push to his elbow. His entire frame buckled, sending him stumbling onto the mat. Another recruit snorted, then froze when Iron Widow turned her head toward him. "You," she said, "show me your guard." He rushed to comply, raising his fists. She didn't even touch him. She just tilted her head. "You're telegraphing your punches. Every shift in your heel announces your next move." The instructors were watching now, wide-eyed. She wasn't mocking. She wasn't humiliating. She was right, and every demonstration revealed problems they had missed. Riker approached again, voice lower, almost respectful. "If you believe they're not ready, what do you recommend?" She looked him directly in the eyes. "Let me run the drills today." Several recruits audibly gulped. A few instructors exchanged horrified glances. Riker hesitated only a moment before nodding. "Very well. The deck is yours." Iron Widow stepped forward and addressed the entire training unit. Her voice carried effortlessly across the concrete. "You are United States Navy. I expect discipline, precision, and quiet minds. Those who fail will repeat the drill until they succeed." A long silence fell. Then she added, "And don't worry, I don't break bones unless absolutely necessary." Every recruit straightened at once. The day's training had just transformed into a battlefield, and everyone knew it.